Do you know that feeling where you get super triggered, you feel out of control, suddenly something makes these big, explosive emotions come forth within you and you feel kind of out of control? That's called an emotional trigger. And actually regulating your emotions is an teachable skill, and I'm going to try to help you learn how to do it. So if you're one of those people who says like, oh, I'm unable to control it, I'm just not that good with feelings, when I get angry, I can't control myself, then listen to this. It takes practice like everything else, but I can teach you how to deal with your emotions so they don't end up exploding all over the place and completely ruining your life. When your emotions are regulated, your life is better. There is less stress, your relationships are better, you feel better about yourself because you don't end up saying or doing things that you regret afterwards. You know that feeling where you're so angry, you just want to hurt the other person. You say something really, really mean and you feel horrible afterwards. You want to apologize, you want to take it back. When you learn how to regulate your emotions, you're not going to be in that position, because in the moment when you do feel the trigger, you'll learn how to hold it in and find a way to balance yourself back before you say anything. It basically helps you make thoughtful decisions that aren't so clouded by your emotional ups and downs. What I always say is that it can be really helpful to think of emotions as small crying children. Okay? And when a small child is crying, what are you going to do? Are you gonna just let them cry and leave the room? Are you gonna hit them in the head and say, shut up, stop crying? No, you're gonna pick them up, put them on your knee, you're gonna soothe them, you're gonna ask them, what's wrong? Why are you so unhappy? What made you cry? And they're gonna tell you, they're gonna feel seen, they're gonna feel heard, and eventually they're gonna calm down. That's how you have to deal with yourself when you do have an emotional outburst. The thing is, in the moment, there is nothing you can do. When your fight or flight is activated, you're going to want to fight or flee. So what you do when you do get emotionally triggered is you first have to remove yourself from the situation. You have to take 5, at least. You have to say, you know what, I'm feeling a bit triggered. Let me just go into the other room. I'll be back. I do want to have this conversation, but I just need to calm my mind a bit and get some clarity. Then you're going to go into the other room and then you're going to start talking to yourself and this emotion, which is a part of you, within you, as if it were a little child. You're going to close your eyes and then you're going to start asking this emotion questions. Why are you feeling like this? You can also do it as a journaling exercise. Why are you feeling like this? What made you so upset? And it could be, I don't know, or this happened. And then you're going to ask more questions. You're going to say, your feelings are valid. I'm here to support you. Don't worry. You're going to get what you need. And the thing is, when you do get very triggered, it's often rooted in earlier experiences as well. So when people have a so-called overreaction, it's always because what happened right now reminded them of something that has happened before that was way worse. So you might look at them and be like, what just happened? I just asked I just canceled dinner. That's not a big deal. But it's probably reminding them of a whole childhood of abandonment. So their reaction in that moment, they're reacting to that whole childhood of abandonment that abandonment wound is being activated. So that's why it seems so explosive. And with yourself, you have to have that awareness as well. You have to be very honest with yourself. I do have some trauma. There is a slight chance that in this moment in time, what I am doing is an overreaction, and it's not actually about this other person. This other person may not be as evil as I think they are right now. So when you are triggered, you can't trust your feelings at all until you calm down. Until you regulate, you can't trust anything you're thinking about this other person or about the situation, which is why you shouldn't take action or have deep, long conversations about a topic when you're triggered. It's not going to end well. So yeah, you sit down with this emotion, you talk to it, you journal it out, or you close your eyes and you just have this guided visualization with yourself where you're talking to this part of yourself. You're trying to figure out what's happening. So when you've identified that more, then you can start thinking, okay, how long is it going to take me to calm down? And then you can communicate to the other person, I can talk to you about this in 3 hours, then I have a more clear mind and I look forward to it, okay? Because I feel a bit dysregulated. And then what you can do is you can do a mindfulness exercise, you can do breathing exercises. They are amazing. I'm actually thinking about making some breathing exercise videos here on YouTube because I have many clients who ask for it. Very simple breathing techniques. You can Google boxed breathing. It's a breathing technique where you breathe in for 4, hold the breath for 4, breathe out for 4, hold the breath for 4, and it's super helpful. It's very, very simple. I'm sure there are lots of videos on YouTube already. Boxed breathing. So do a breathing exercise that really calms the nervous system down. You can also go running, sometimes physical. If it's anger especially that you're experiencing, then physical exercise can be super helpful. Put on some heavy metal in your earphones and like dance it out, or go for a run, or go to the gym and do some boxing, or just get it out. It will also help a lot. So do some of these things that can help you soothe yourself before you actually have the conversation. You should never resolve anything, talk about anything, do anything, make any plans when you're feeling triggered. Another thing that can be super helpful is to build an emotional vocabulary so you know how to express your emotions. Instead of just saying, I'm angry, then you can find the nuances behind that anger and express yourself better to the other person so they can understand what you're going through. So that can be super helpful as well. And you know what? If you're having a hard time with this, you can reach out to a professional. You can reach out to me. I have a link down here below. You can book a session. Have someone help you navigate this and figure out how to train yourself to become really good at navigating and handling emotions. It's a teachable skill, like I said, and it just takes practice. If you want to get strong and get big biceps, you're not just going to go to the gym one day. Consistent effort, and the same is required, and the same and the same is true for emotions. If you want to learn how to handle them and manage them, you have to practice, practice, practice. It's also good to have an emotional support system. So if you do have friends you can talk to, but it's very important. Sometimes friends give bad advice, especially if you have a super dramatic friend who's always just being a parrot and saying whatever you want to hear, and you call her, complain about your boyfriend or your husband, she's just going to rile you up even more, and you're going to end up being even more dysregulated after that conversation. So choose carefully when it comes to speaking with friends. That's why it's not always an advice that I would give. It really depends on the mindset of the friends that you have in your life, and the same with your family members. Some people have parents that are very dramatic, right, and emotionally dysregulated themselves, and then it's not really good to talk to someone who become emotionally dysregulated when you tell them about this problem that you have. Emotional regulation is not about suppressing your emotions. It's about allowing them to come forth, validating them, and then calming them down, just as you would with a small crying child. So I hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.